Welcome to my channel, in which you can get an important lectures and tutors on a statistical package for data analysis. So this is my first video on this channel on the course Econometrics, but I am hoping to provide more on different courses in the future. So please subscribe to my channel and then be a family. And today, in my first tutorial or video on this course, I'm going to present or provide you a lecture on about econometrics. So I will try to provide you basic information which are required to succeed in the course economics today. So please try to subscribe and then encourage me to provide more related topics and then more courses. So as a case, and let's see the general overview of the course. So the course is composed of 6 chapters. So the first one is the introduction. The second one, correlation theory, simple linear regression model, multiple regression analysis, economic problem, and the final one, which is non-linear regression and time series economics. So the first is about introductory part. So it simply defines econometrics, its scope, and then it also gives more information about econometric model and then their desirable property and then methodology for the course econometrics. And then the second, the third, and the fourth chapter are about linear regression models. Here we look correlation theory. Actually, it's also we look linear correlation theory. Actually, which is the person coefficient correlation theory. And then in the third chapter we look simple linear regression models. Simple linear regression model. So actually, this linear regression model overcomes the weakness of the correlation theory or correlation analysis, because both the correlation as well as the simple linear regression model both analyzes a variation or relationship between variables, but here in simple linear regression model we look at the effect of one variable on the other, but here in correlation we simply look whether there is a relationship between variable or not. This is a magnitude. Look at the magnitude or the degree and the direction by which two or more variables are correlated. So this is the case. And then there is the chapter for the extension form of simple linear regression model. Actually, a simple linear regression model, we only have one dependent variable and then one independent variable. But in multiple linear regression model, we will have more independent variables, but one dependent variable. So here we have one dependent variable and then more than two or more than two independent variable, but we'll only try to look at the one or multiple regression model with two independent variables. The other thing is economic problems. So the simple linear regression model as well as multiple linear regression model both depends on the classical assumption of the linear regression model. So violation of this classical assumption will result an economic problem. For instance, we can mention here. So one of the assumptions of the linear regression model is that there should be no correlation between the error terms, which we call autocorrelation. So if the error terms are correlated to each other, this will result a biased output. So violation of this assumption or correlation between error, existence of the correlation between error brings an economic problem. So we can mention more, for instance, the constant variance of the error terms as well. So there should be constant variance between the error terms, and then if there is no constant variance, still there will be an econometric problem, and then which is resulted from the valuation of the basic underlying assumption of the linear regression models. So we will look them in chapter 5, and then the final chapter, which is learn linear regression. Actually, in first chapter, in the third chapter and first chapter, we look at the linear regression analysis, but we'll also have not all economic variables are linearly related. So we may try to transform certain linear variables, but all relationship cannot transform to linear form. So we bring another model which is called non-linear regression model, and then time series econometric model. Also, this is one of the linear model. We'll try to check them in this chapter, in the sixth chapter. So this is the case, and for today we'll try to look at some basic information about the course econometrics. We may not start the actual lecture of the course, but we try to look at the introduction and what is required to succeed in this course. So we start from a relationship. So we need to look at a relationship between different economic variables or entities because we need to manage them. So the beginning of the course econometrics starts from here. So because in the past there is economic theories that different economists developed, but there is a doubt that they lack empirical analysis, and then this is why the course economics was evolved. So there are relationship that if you have an economics background, you may look different economic variables which have a relationship with each other. So that means one affects the other. Instantly, you can look at demand and the price. So if the price rise and we keep the other factors constant, and then we believe the quantity which is demand for that product will slow down or fall. And in the same way, consumption and income. So income increase, consumption will increase in some coefficient because consumption is derived from income, depends on income. So this is for economics, for those who have economics background. But if you have also from another field, there are also variation. For instance, there is different variables which depends on each other, or one can influence the other. So you can assume in this way. The other thing is we define an economic relationship, or simply we define relationship. So what does it mean? A relationship among economic variables. So this is when there is when some economic variable has an impact on the other, or when changing one variable affects the corresponding change or some change to the other variable. This is what we call a relationship. The economic variable is the one which has an economic unit, so that we can measure the economy. So this is what an economic variable means. For instance, from this example, we can say quantity demanded. Price is economic unit. It is variable. Quantity demanded is also it is a variable. Consumption is a variable. Income is a variable because income determines consumption. So we can measure consumption based on income. Also, investment and rate of interest, inflation and unemployment. So these all things are interrelated, and then one determines the other. So this is about how relationship exists between different economic variables. Simply, you can look at from this that there are a relationship between different variables, directly or indirectly. So we can look government budget. The budget of the government has direct impact on inflation or stock price market index. Then in the same way, we can look for some money supply to the market has its own impact on interest and on inflation. So this whole thing is tells that there are interrelationship between different economic entities. So the question is how much? It's theory, actually, it's theory. A theory, for instance, this one is theory, or simply an hypothesis, or an expected theory on the course or on subject A. but we don't know by how much variable or one variable can affect the other. So we list them, but we don't know by how much we can change the other variable so that we can control the another one. So if we don't know the degree or the level by which we can change one variable and control the other, it will be difficult, and then it may be we may subject to invalid decision or biased decision. So this is why we need the course econometrics. This helps us to build this concept or theory and then support with the data and the result and efficient output. So this is why we need the course economics. For instance, we don't know by how much should the Federal Reserve raise interest rate so that it can prevent inflation. So if we don't know the magnitude, it's difficult to change or to make change to one variable so that the other can be controlled. So this is why we need the course economics. So we don't know the model, the true model which we are going to use. So we need to theorize about it. Sales theory or we can theorize now. Then after that we can use the data and then find out by how much the variables can affect another one. So econometrics helps us to combine these two things, that means theory and the data. So it will be a bridge for to produce an efficient output or well-organized output to make decisions. So economic theory and then economic data is there. So we use the concept of econometrics or the tool of econometrics and then have an economic decision, which is actually we don't, because it's subject to random, we don't say we mostly use efficient or efficient. So that's the case. So it is a tool which helps us to combine economic theory and data and bring an efficient output. So students, or we need to have some basic statistical concept about to learn the course econometrics. So actually we will define later on chapter 1 what the term econometrics means. It's actually measuring variation or relationship between variables or economic variables, because the eco stands for the economics, actually economics actually. So you need to have a solid background in statistics, mathematics and economics. So, but it is also helpful for other professions, not only for economics. So if you are from other, it is equivalent to biostatistics for other health science students, and then also it is advanced form of statistics actually. So you need to have some basic knowledge of economics, statistics, unless it will be difficult to cope with problems and data analysis tools. So you need to be familiar with population mean sample. So they are simple terms actually, parameter. So measure of central tendency is actually variance, covariance, and the standard deviation, expected value, mean. This all should be reviewed. You need to review them before starting to learn the course economics, because they are a basic foundation for this course. So you need to look at all of this things, basic probability and probability density function. It's also required actually. Central theorem. This one also related with probability density function, but you need to review them and then have capture some knowledge of this concepts, unless it will be difficult to proceed with the remaining parts or chapters. So thank you very much, and please, if you get this lecture helpful, subscribe to my channel so you can encourage me and I can provide more lecture on this topic. Thank you very much.